Hi, welcome. My name is Britta, and I lost my dog Jasper in early 2024. And I started this community and group because I felt very isolated in my grief and truly felt like nobody understood what I was going through. But rest assured that you are in the right place now. You are now in a community full of people that know exactly what you're going through, and we're all here to support you. This next video is about helping you understand these first few months of grief, these early days, which are frankly the most challenging. These first couple days, months, could even be up to a year, but these first moments, they're very challenging, and I don't want to sugarcoat it. You need to start by understanding you're in survival mode right now, and there's a lot of things that you can set yourself up for that really help you navigate this challenging time. These first moments are the hardest. These early months, you're dealing with a lot, not just losing your pet, but losing that sense of routine, losing your purpose. For some of us, it's losing our best friend, our confidant, our child, our partner. I suddenly woke up one day and it was my first time living alone. And that is a lot to deal with. So I want to commend you for being here, listening to this video, being a part of this community. You are showing an incredible amount of strength by showing up for yourself. And I promise you that with time, with connection, and by actually addressing and acknowledging your grief, you will end up in a better place. And we are here to support you. I've put together a couple of lessons and best practices that I've experienced that I'm hoping to share with you that will provide you with some comfort during this time. Just know this is a chaotic, messy experience. There's no one size fits all. It is not linear, and it can be exhausting both mentally and physically. So give yourself some grace, take your time, and grieve out loud if you're comfortable. Please join the community and share your story. There's a group of people waiting there to support you and bring you in. So my first piece of advice that I actually did myself that was very helpful was I created a care plan. A care plan is a list of people to call, daily non-negotiables, grounding practices. When you're in grief, you have brain fog. You might have heard of grief brain. Your brain can't always remember the coping strategies that you've identified. Having it written down does help. Think about when you're in a good place. You can think of those things that really make you feel good about yourself or ground you or give you some hope and some clarity. For me, some of the things that help me are going to the beach. The water and the sand just completely brings me home. It's also for me a place that Jasper and I spent a lot of time. So going to the beach was definitely high on my list. Also, sometimes I needed to remember to drink a glass of water, eat 3 meals a day, nourish my body. That should go on the list. It could be reaching out to a best friend that understands you, turning to this community, joining a support group. I will include below a downloadable template that I used that I encourage you to print out if you still have a printer. If not, your local library might have one. But print it out, write it down, and edit it over time. You're going to learn so much about yourself in this process, and you're basically giving yourself a cheat sheet for when you're in the grief, for when maybe you're spiraling or really dealing with it. This is going to be your home base and something you can physically see and look at that will help you navigate this time. My second piece of advice is to add structure to your life. Grief can remove the sense of time. Days become blurry. And with a lot of us, our pets created this standard routine in our lives, and then suddenly, poof, it's gone away. Jasper was my alarm clock every day. He was always up at the crack of dawn because he wanted to get his breakfast. But he really was why I got out of bed every day. Sure, I had work and activities to do, but we've all slept in, we've all stayed in bed a little bit longer, but Jasper didn't let me do that. It could be your pet's medicine schedule, feeding them, walking them, checking in on them. You lose that sense of routine, that normalcy, and you're going to have to find ways to replace it. And it's challenging. It's not easy because you don't want to feel like you're replacing your pet, but you do need to give yourself a little bit extra structure. I know for me, having more structure helps me kind of power through the day. When I have too much free time, it's not good. It also makes me think too much, and that's when my grief can really build up and spiral. So think about different examples of things you can add into your daily routine. Maybe you want to go on a walk and use that time to honor your pet. Maybe it's pre-scheduling when you're going to have those 3 meals a day. Maybe you choose to change that morning walk routine to reading a good book. Or it's simply just setting an alarm clock if your pet was your alarm clock and waking up at the same time every day. For me, it took me a while to go on that walk every day, but I did start to schedule things into my routine, an early morning workout class that helped me still get up and get out of the house. I recognized I had to remove myself from the house and go somewhere different in the morning to really get my day going. Saying, oh, I'm going to go on a walk at 8 a.m. just didn't do it for me because there was really nothing scheduled or that I would have to cancel. And I signed up for tennis lessons and they started at 7:30. I had to be out of the house at 6:45. I live somewhere where things are a little farther, but it really helped me. There is scientific evidence that shows that actually having a routine reduces stress. It helps regulate the nervous system. It gives you something to look forward to or work towards. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be anything big. It could simply just be a checklist for things you want to do, or if it's using a Google Calendar or a physical calendar, just writing things down that you're going to accomplish that day. But routine, I promise, will be so helpful during this time. Something else I think is so important is finding a safe space. It could be an activity, a place, or a practice that where you feel calm and comforted. For me, that was actually reading books. And I can't tell you how many books I read during those first couple months, but believe me, it was a lot. Reading for me allows me to focus on something outside of my emotions and grief. It allows me to immerse myself into a story and, frankly, a world that wasn't the one I was living in. I was having a really hard time being present in life without Jasper. And so reading books was one of the few times I could turn my brain off. And I really found comfort in it, and it really helped me get through those first few months. For someone else, it could be rewatching a comfort show. There's also scientific evidence that says there's a lot of people out there that love to rewatch things because you know what to expect, there's no surprises, and it really makes you feel good. I definitely have a few comfort shows on my list, including Ted Lasso and Gossip Girl, but for people, it could be a movie or something else. It also could be cooking. Cooking is an act of service for yourself and for your family if you have one. It's nourishing your body, it's healthy, and it allows you again to be distracted by an activity that is good for everyone but takes your mind off things. This isn't avoidance, though. I just want to be clear on that. This is a healthy form of grounding. It's a way to do something positive and distract yourself and kind of take yourself out of this spinning that this grief can create in your brain. It is healthy and good to find healthy and good activities. So similar to adding structure, these safe spaces and activities can let your nervous system reset when emotions are too overwhelming. The calming nature of cooking or baking, the calming nature of watching something where you know what's going to happen. There's no anxiety or excitement about, ooh, what's going to happen when she enters that room or what's going to happen in a book. Maybe when it comes to books, avoiding things that are high anxiety, like maybe no suspense novels, maybe just some really good beach reads, for example. I encourage you to try to find your safe space, and it can be a million different things. Also, one of the most important lessons, find support. Grief in isolation is so heavy and exhausting. You should share your experiences and say it out loud. For me, it feels good to physically let my emotions get out of my body. I think something we might have all heard is like write things down and crumple up the paper and throw it away. That's just what it's like with grief. You're feeling all these different things that maybe you've never heard someone else talk about before. You're feeling feelings that you might not have ever felt before. Saying them out loud to people, getting validation, sharing it with a group, getting feedback, it's so important. And it matters. Pet loss is disenfranchised grief, and it's not widely understood by people in our network. That's why this community exists, because maybe your friends and family don't understand, and that can make you feel even worse when you feel like you're screaming into the ether and no one's listening. This group gets it. This community gets it. Just know if you turn to this group in one of our support groups, discussion boards, or a one-on-one chat with another member, you will find that validation and you will realize that you are not alone. Social connection is protection. It protects you against prolonged grief. It protects you from holding all this stuff inside. I always think of the analogy of shaking up a soda bottle. That's what grief is. It's all these emotions and feelings running through your body. And if you just let them sit in there and don't release them, you might explode. You deserve to be supported. You deserve to have a community. You deserve to get that emotion out of your body. So do yourself that favor and get support. I also talk about this a lot, but aim for neutral. Early grief isn't about being happy or grateful. It's truly about survival. Aiming for neutral might mean setting very achievable goals, and those goals might just be getting through the day, putting one foot in front of the other, waking up, maybe taking a shower, drinking enough water, eating some healthy meals, whether you cook them or have to get them to go, choose what will be most achievable for you in that given moment. And that might change day to day. If you're having a good day, maybe push yourself a little bit more. But if you're having a tough day where you're struggling, maybe just putting one foot in front of the other is enough. We live in this world where we're supposed to create these big goals for ourselves, hustle, always go for more and more and more. Grief is not the time for that. Grief is when you should just focus on giving yourself some grace, giving yourself an opportunity to navigate this. Grief can be draining on the mind and body. Small steps can bring you towards growth. Small steps can potentially get you towards that moment where you can feel grateful, but don't rush it. Some people might feel grateful a week after, just like some people might immediately get a pet after. That's okay. It's also okay to wait. I've seen both. I personally haven't gotten a new pet yet. I have a friend that got one immediately after. I think we're both doing what makes sense for us. Grief is not one size fits all, so you need to do what works for you. Something else I highly encourage people to do, try something new. I know it seems a little weird, but new hobbies and skills can provide some focus for something outside of this grief. For me, it was taking those tennis lessons I mentioned earlier. I needed an escape. I also needed an identity that wasn't the grieving person. Tennis is a little social, but no one at tennis knew what I was going through. And I chose that. You can absolutely share it with new people, but I wanted a place where I could just show up, get a little exercise on, learn something new, turn my brain towards learning that skill. And then when I go home, I can deal with the grieving process. Learning something new helps build resilience, and it creates these small dopamine boosts that we all deserve during this time. It does not mean we are doing something bad. It does not mean that grief and love is going away. It just means we're giving ourselves something that frankly our pets would probably want us to do. Learning something new, it could be cooking, it could be yoga, it could be crochet, mahjong. There's so many opportunities and options out there. It could be social, or it could be something you learn on your computer at home. Could be reading a book. My last lesson, give yourself some grace. Grief is physically and mentally exhausting. There's a term called grief brain. I hadn't heard of it before losing Jasper. My first grief coach actually helped me with that and helped me understand what it was. It makes concentration, memory, and decision making, frankly, hard. And think about all the decisions and things we have to concentrate on throughout the day. So give yourself grace. Give yourself breaks. If you have a messy day, which means staying in bed and crying and eating junk food, that is not failure. Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow's a new day you can aim for neutral. Maybe you can give those really small goals an opportunity, but don't push yourself. Give yourself self-compassion. Acknowledge that how hard this all is. Think about what you would tell a best friend that was going through something challenging. You would tell them to give themselves a break. Don't criticize themselves. Treat yourself like your own best friend. Treat yourself how you think your beloved pet would want to treat you. They would want us to grieve them, of course. I think about Jasper all the time. He would expect me to grieve him, but he would also want me to give myself a little bit of a break and just be okay with not being okay. Just know these first few months, they're difficult. I do not want to sugarcoat it. You have a road ahead of you, but being here, a part of this community, a part of this group, you are taking the first step towards healing. Grief is not one size fits all. It looks different for everyone. This list of tips I gave you, some of them might work. Some of them might not for you. You might not want to learn something new. You might not want to have a routine, and that's okay. I encourage you to go through this list, take the things that feel right, leave the things that don't. But the one thing I will say that I hope you take to heart, you don't have to rush healing. This right now, this time, it's about survival and gradual rebuilding. Which of these lessons feels right? Think about that for you. Maybe it's just the care plan to start, and that's good enough. But give yourself an opportunity to set yourself up for success. When you're having an okay day, when you're able to think straight, when that grief brain is not infiltrating us, think about this list. Think about what might help you and ground you during this time. So I want to end with this. The first 90 days are brutal, but over time, you will see that love and loss can coexist, and you will find your footing again. Thank you for listening. I hope this was helpful. I hope this leaves you feeling a little bit lighter and a little bit more supported. I hope to see you in the community and on a support group soon. Reach out if you need anything. We're all here for you.